Lumiere brothers were fantastic Frenchmen that invented the film camera in 1895.
The brothers believed that there was a better way to have the cinematic experience other than looking into a very small kinetoscope and having an insular or a singular experience. The great thing about movies is, much like live theaters, that you go in and you experience it with 200 other people.
This film, like, you know, when we first heard of this kind of like urban legend, it's like a folkloric legend, this story, this screening, years and years ago, we both always thought that it would make a great film about just the beginning of film.
So, you know, we discussed it years and years ago. Of course, we never had the budget to do anything, to complete anything. And so to afford something like this, we needed a great grant, and that's exactly what we found through the graciousness of the doorpost. One of the most special parts about this project for Nicholas and I is that we found and drawn a lot of parallels between the Lumiere brothers and ourselves.
I mean, you know, as they are, we're trying to create something together, working together, collaborating, you know, bringing both of our heads together to overcome just the obstacles of the day here in the production.
If I had wood to knock on, I would, but we've been really lucky. But it's a big challenge, it's a big script, and it's a huge undertaking. And I think maybe not knowing any better, we just jumped in.
I'd say the biggest challenge to doing a period piece comes in to building the sets and really supplying the wardrobe, the proper wardrobe. Everything has to be time period specific. And I discovered that doing a period piece really complicates everything all around.
Well, what is fascinating, actually, once we read the script and started doing research on how to actually put something together to shoot turn of the century Lyon here in Los Angeles, what actually drew me to it was that the parallels of our struggle to try and actually make this film was very similar to them to try and do something that had never been done before. We're trying to put together a very big production with very, very little money, and there are a lot of naysayers, and people would turn around and say, you don't even ask about trying to get Universal. They'll say no, it just won't work. And you know, don't try to call James Earl Jones because he'll say no.
Every challenge that we've been faced with, for some unknown reason, has come through without a glitch.
We're in Los Angeles, which is palm trees and beaches and rolling hills and sagebrush. It does not look anything like the south of France. But we were as I was saying, we were very fortunate that we had a friend at Universal.
Which is pretty much the only place in California that I can think of, at least Southern California, that has a European street. And we were really, really fortunate that they were good to us and let us shoot there. There's no reason why all of this should have come together, but somehow it did. So we're very lucky.
The entire art department brings their own experience, and they did a very, very good job of researching the material, informing everyone else what the period looked like.
It was a challenge when it was first brought to me, and there was no way that I was going to do it alone, because there was going to be a lot of fabrication, there was going to be a lot of research.
Every little detail is fabricated, even like the little brass plaques on the cameras that they had their name, the Lumiere brothers or the daguerreotype, the camera obscura, Niepce's first camera. We fabricated all of that.
Yep.
The camera obscura from scratch, the Edison's kinetoscope. We're going to do the expo where he premiered that.
It's been really a group family effort, and without them, none of this could be possible.
We just finished shooting the blue screen element for a grand hall. It's going to be an exhibition hall that takes place early in the piece. And DJ Goller and Tim Duncan from Zoe Creative are going to help with that. They're going to create this really nice composite special effect shot. So we had all of the extras going back and forth and just different elements which we will composite. So there will be a shot where there'll be like 20 people will become 120 or more.
When you're realizing, as these brothers in the film are, an impossible dream, something that's never been created ever, it's almost unimaginable. So the kind of leap of faith that you have to, you know, be willing to take, as these brothers do creatively in their invention, is definitely something that is exciting to us about the story.
I don't see what could be more hopeful and more appropriate for a film that is basing a theme on hope, because they really gave hope to the entire world. They got to share views and stories and take us to places that no one else had seen before.
People said it couldn't be done. You just can't project an image on the wall the way they did.
They did. They believed it, and they worked together, and the community came together to help them realize that vision. And you know, they barely pulled it off, but they did. And when they did, it was pretty amazing.
I think that this movie shows that hope is made out of hard, persistent, frustrated work within the family, within the city, within the environment. It is making things in order to make the world a better place, not just hoping for it, but doing something about it.
The fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, there would be no film festivals, there'd be no Doorpost Film Festival, there'd be no theater-going experiences or anything like that if it weren't for these two brothers. So it's basically because of them that we've been pushed with this absolute drive to make movies. I owe the Lumiere brothers my life.